In the last lecture, we have learned about the line, polyline, circle, but we haven't discussed arc in detail. And we have also drawn a rectangle. So let's consider some of the options of arc. Arc has several options. If you look into the arc is simple, but if you come over here at the bottom arrow, you see that we have several types of arc. Several types of arc. The first arc is a 3-point arc. What it is called? 3-point arc. You have to just define 3 points. Diagram में show थे तो? Point 1, point 2, point 3. You just have to draw 3 points. You will draw. For example, I am selecting the arc. I say that arc started from here. He midpoint and he end point. Bas, that's all. So in order to draw the arc, what I have done, I have selected the 3 points. The arc can be drawn by start, end, and direction. Start, end, direction. For example, I have to draw an arc. These are the 2 points. 2 lines are there. So I want to draw an arc between these two. So I can go for start, end, and direction. In this say, what I have to consider, I have to click the first point here from the arc start, and then I have to go to the second point where the arc ends, and then I have to consider the direction or the side. Okay, so this is start, end, direction. If I click over here, so what is being asked? Specify the start point. So this is the start point. Now I say they specify the end point. So the communication between you and the AutoCAD is being made in the command line. This is the second point. Now the direction. You can move upward, you can move downward. It's like a rubber band. It's not fixed. Once you click on the upward, even then you can edit the arc later on. Later on you can edit the arc. For example, if I select this arc, I can reduce the I can increase the radius and reduce the curvature. I can increase the curvature. So we have a flexibility. We can change the start point also. Say for example, this is the start point. So now I can change the start point from here to here. I can change the dimension of the arrow. So now this is flexible. So now you are learning the both draw and modify. Component that we have drawn can also be modified by the grips. These blue color dots are called as grips. Grips. Middle grip, what the middle grip can do? Increase or decrease the arc, radius or diameter. This is the function for the middle grip. What is the function for the end grip? To move the point from where the arc started and arc end. And what is the use of this midpoint? Any guess? It is used to move the arc. How many grip points are there for an arc? 4. 2 end points in order to consider a start point and end point. One middle point is to just move the arc, and the top one is to reduce or increase the arc. We can also reduce or decrease the arc length of arc. We can reduce, I can reduce from here. The reduction can be done from either you have set it the clockwise or counterclockwise setup. Okay. If you go to the arc again, now here is found that there are several other options are there. The arc remains same, but the drawing of that arc depends on then how you want to draw the arc. Either you have a 3 points to draw the arc, either you have a start point, end point, and a direction to arc, either you have a fixed angle on which you want to draw the arc, and the communication between you and the AutoCAD is being made through this command line. Is it clear? Do you have any question? Now same is the case with the circle. If you look at the circle, you will find that a simple circle, but if I click over here, we have several types of a circle through which we can draw. The two are very common. Either you consider the radius or the diameter. If I click on the this center and diameter, so first I have to define the center of a circle 8.1, and then I have to give the dimension for the diameter. But if I go and select this, what I have to show? Now here we have to consider the 2 points, the first one and the second point. The first point shows the center point and the second point shows up to the length of arc. Let's do it. So I'm considering the center and the radius. So the first point, now as I am moving, you will see that the dynamic mode is telling us about the dimension. This is 5 is radius. Radius 11.8, so that's a radius, either in any direction. This is a radius. But if I consider another mode, center and diameter, look at that. If I click on the same center and I move forward, now what is changing? Which dimension is changing? 13. Each has 7 dimension. It's a diameter. No. So now the first circle I have drawn with the consideration of radius. The second type of circle I have drawn by considering the diameter. So if you have in your drawing, if you have diameter to be used, select that one. If you want to consider the radius, select that one. Otherwise, there is a conversion between radius and diameter, that the diameter is the double of a radius, or the radius is the half of the diameter. But there are some cases where the circle is not easy to be drawn. For example, I have one triangular figure. Is this a triangular figure? Closed triangular figure? I want to draw a circle which fits within the triangle. So, do you know the dimension of a circle that can fit in this triangle? No. But we can draw directly a circle which can fit within a triangle. What we do, we go to the circle, and here we have option as a 3 point. So for the 3 point, we just have to select any 3 points, and the circle will be drawn by considering those 3 points. If I consider 3 points, so now I have to consider 3 points. Let's say I have selected the midpoint of a first side of a triangle, midpoint of a second line of a triangle, and midpoint another. Now look at that, circle has been drawn. I have to select the third one, midpoint. So the exact circle has been drawn within a triangle without knowing the dimension. I just have to take the circle. So what was the option? Option was 3 point circle. A similar way, we can also draw the circle between the 2 points. Say for example, if we have a rectangle, any of the rectangle is there, and I want to draw the circle by considering the any lines. Let me increase the size of a rectangle. So I want to draw exactly a circle in the mid of a rectangle. So I can go and in a circle menu, and here I have a 2 point circle. In a 2 point circle, I will select the midpoint of a larger side of a rectangle, another midpoint, opposite midpoint of a larger circle. So the circle has been drawn. Now you feel that the drawing of a circle is lot more easy. We don't have to measure the dimension. We just put it the circle by considering either the 2 points or the 3 points. Now you feel that in spite of considering the main one option, we have other options also. In spite of considering the main option in a circle, we have other options also. Another type of a circle that we can draw is a tangent, tangent, tangent. What do you mean by tangent, tangent, tangent? Tangent, what do you mean by tangent? Tangent means any point along the path of a circle. Say for example, I have this circle and I have another circle. The two circles are there. So I want to draw a circle between these two. I want to draw a circle in between the two circles. So I can go consider tangent, tangent, radius. Tangent, tangent, radius means we have to select the two tangents of a circle and we have to specify the radius. If I click over here, now here you see that this circular green color shape along with the line comes. This is a symbol of a tangent. So I can consider that, okay, this tangent and this tangent is to be considered, and the radius of a circle is say 5. So another third circle has been formed. Now what is the characteristic of this circle? Point number 1, no doubt it has a radius that I have defined 5, but it has a very good option is that it is touching the two circles, one circle over here, second circle over here. It touches the 2 points on a circle and its radius is this one. Similarly, if I have to draw a circle with the tangent, 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 what it means? If I circle tangent, 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 तो चाहते हो? मखे ट्रे सर्कल या टेंजेंट खाना है, बा ट्रे, बस ट्रेन जे विच में ठही ना, जेतरो डाय हो जे. We are not concerned with the diameter. We are concerned with the requirement. कोई ऐडो सर्कल था जे गिन ट्रेन tangents के cover करे. That's all. So why these tools are there? In order to expedite the drawing. In order to you don't have to bother that what should be the calculation for the circle diameter, what will be the center point to draw. Otherwise, if you draw the manually circle, that is difficult to draw because you have to find out this exact diameters or radius, and you have to find where from I will start the circle. But this time we don't care about the center of a circle. Let's talk about the polygon. A rectangle is also a polygon, but if you want to draw a close figure more than 4 sides, from the rectangle tool, can we draw a square? Can we draw a square from the rectangle tool? Yes, we can draw it. A square is a special rectangle whose all sides are equal. So if I consider any of the point as the start point, so now I have to give a second 2 dimensions, x and y. If both the dimensions are equal, it will be automatically a circle. Say for example, I will draw a circle for 25, 25. So is it exactly a square? Because all the 4 dimensions are equal, 25 by 25. Why? Because a square is the special mod of a rectangle in which all the sides are equal. Now if we draw the rectangle, now can we draw a rectangle by considering the line command? Okay, let's draw the circle from the line command. This is the start point. I have measured the dimension as 25 from the left, 25 upward, 25 to the left, and I can use a C in order to close it. So is any differences there between the circle, is any differences there between the squares that I have drawn by using the rectangle command and a line command? Is any differences there? Yes, there is a difference. Let's select all of the two squares. Do you see the same grip points? There is a difference between the grip points. Here you see the all grip points are square, and here you see that the corners are square, but the midpoints are not square, they are rectangular. They show that this is the rectangle. What is the difference? For example, if I move the midpoint, I can move a line. But if I click the midpoint of a rectangle, I can trace this square to the rectangle. There is a difference. What's the difference? These all points are connected. These all points are connected. I have drawn the parallelogram. I can move downward to have such a parallelogram. But in this, the square that I have drawn from the line, I can't do this. So the elements are separate. Another parameter, this was a quadrilateral. A quadrilateral is a closed figure having the four sides and four corners. It might be a parallelogram, square, or rectangle. But what about the shapes other than having the more sides than four? We call them generally a polygon. So in addition to the rectangle, we have also a polygon. If I click on the polygon, now here we have two options available. Inscribed and circumscribed. So let's click on the polygon. Once you click on the polygon, what is being asked from you by the AutoCAD? Specify a side. If you draw four sides, it will be a same rectangle or square. Let's consider at least 5 sides. Press 5 and enter. Now it will draw the pentagon. Polygon is also a pentagon because a pentagon means 5 sides. So now what is being asked? Specify the center of polygon or the edge. We have two options available. If I directly click on any point, so again we will say that either inscribed or circumscribed. Let's say I say that inscribed. So the one sort of a polygon has been established. I have drawn the polygon, 5 corners. We can exactly create the for example, now this time I am going to create a polygon with the 6 sides. So while he's asking about the size, number of sides, let's press enter 6 and enter. And 6 and enter in spite of giving the center of a polygon. Let's say I want to give him an edge. Click on edge. So I have to consider the specify the end point, any single point. If I click on a single point, I can move to the side. Now I have to specify one side of a hexagon. Let's say I have decided that the one side of a hexagon is 15. All the sides of a hexagon are 16 points. Polygon, let's move at the bottom. Here we have to consider ellipse. What is the difference between the ellipse and the circle? If I click on the ellipse, what is being specified? Specify a center of ellipse, like specify a center of a circle. Let's give a center of a ellipse. Now what is being asked? No diameter, no radius. the AutoCAD is asking about the specify end point of a axis, any end point of a one axis, because ellipse is defined by major axis and minor axis, major axis and minor axis. So let's say this is the major axis are 50 and the minor axis are 20. So an ellipse is created having the major axis at the distance of 50 and 50 total will be 100, 20 and 20 total will be 40. So the total width of this ellipse is 40 points, whereas the total length of this ellipse is 50 into 50, 50 plus 50 is 100. Now what grip points are available in the ellipse? If I click on the ellipse, here you find that 5 points are there. 5 points are there. If I click on the center point, guess what will happen? It will move. A circle, an ellipse can move. What about this minor axis? If I click and move, what is happening now? So the minor axis are increasing or decreasing. We can increase the size of a minor axis. We can decrease the size of a major axis. Let's talk about the moving of an ellipse. Can we move ellipse from a side of one side? For example, if I click on this grip, I can alter the size, increase or decrease. Can I move the ellipse from one side grip? How I can do that? Rotator move tool. In the modify toolbar, first and foremost is the move tool. So how we can use a move command? There are two methods. Method number one is that I will select one object or more than one object that I want to move. Then I will click on the move tool and then I select the point. Now what is being asked? Specify the base point. Specify the point from which you want to pick the object. Like I want to move the this object from one corner. Specify the point. कितना move और इतना move करता है. कितना हम पकड़ लेते हैं. Grip point. That's a grip point. So the grip point. Now, say for example, now the grip point is this one. I can move the circle now, ellipse now. Select, move, specify the grip point. Let's say grip point is this point, or grip point can be any point between these all. So now I'm moving the object. Object dimension will not be changed. Just I select and move. What is the second method? In the second method, first we have to click on the move tool. Now what happens to the cursor shape? It becomes square. It doesn't have a plus sign. So this mode of cursor is called selection mode. What is being asked at the bottom? Move, select options. Means move command is active, and he says that select the object. Now you can select one object or more than one by clicking one. For example, I am selecting this one object. I am also clicking another object. So the two objects are selected, and here you found that one found, total are 2. Now this command is not terminated unless you will not press enter. By pressing enter, you confirm that my selection is complete. I want to just move this one object, 2 object, or more than 2 object, whatever the number of object that we have selected. Now again, the AutoCAD asks from you same question. What is the base point? वो केडी point होनी जितना उन object के खनी वो move करें. And let's say this time I'm considering that this from this corner, move object from this corner. So I'm moving towards the center of a first circle. So object has been moved. So the two methods are there. The first one, select the objects and click on the move tool, or second, click on the move tool, select the objects and specify the base point. The next option in the modify toolbar is the rotate. Again, we have the same two options. Either I select the object and click on the move tool, or I will click on the move tool, select the object. So let's say I have selected this hexagon. I want to rotate this hexagon. So I will go to the rotate tool. Now I say they specify the base point. I say that I want to move this hexagon from this point. Now here you see that I have a live angle. I can define the angle at which I can rotate. The dynamic output says that at which angle you want to rotate. If I say that I want to rotate it at a 30, so I will write a 30 in the dynamic input section. 30 and enter. So it is rotated at the angle of 30 from the first. Now use the second method to rotate. I will click on the rotate tool and then click on the ellipse and say that confirmation. Enter to confirm that my selection is confirmed. I can select one object or more than one object. Then I have to specify the center point. I can select a center as a center of ellipse. By this, it will rotate like this. If I click over here directly, it will be move horizontally. What is the angle? It shows at an angle of 270. I can also rotate this ellipse at any angle. Say for example, I want to rotate it at an angle of 45 from the horizontal. So now it is rotated. So now what's the flexibility? So what is the purpose of these modify toolbars? The modify toolbar is not available in your drawing section. Say for example, only you have an eraser. Only you have an eraser available in your manual drawing. What's the purpose of eraser? Again, we have a same mode. Select the eraser. Now selection tool. I want to erase the first object. And when I say enter, it is erased. Object is erased completely. And let's say I have pressed Ctrl Z in order to undo the last command. Ctrl press Z, undo the last command. Now let's consider we have one case in which I have some lines. I have created one case. So in the eraser, you have actually a option that you can delete any eraser over here, work as a delete command. Eraser means delete, exactly the same. But what happens in a manual drawing, we have an option. We can delete any of the section of any of the drawing component. Say for example, I want to erase a line from this point to this point. This smaller line I want to erase. So if I use an eraser, it says that select the object. I want to erase this small object, but it has selected the whole. When I press enter, the whole line is finished, deleted. I want to delete a very small portion in between them. So this cannot be done with the erase command. So any idea what we can do now? Trim tool. So we select again in the trim tool there is some variation. Point number one, we can consider the trim tool over here. We have two tools available. The first is a trim. So select the trim tool, and now we have a selection toolbar. In order to consider the trim, we don't have to select only one object, but we have to select the adjacent objects. At least the three objects are selected. one that we want to draw, we want to erase, and at least the respective objects which are the boundaries. These are the two boundaries. At least 3 objects are to be selected. Now the selection is confirmed. Press enter in order to confirm. Now I can go to the any of the section which I can erase. If I press over here, I can easily delete the midsection point. This time I have deleted only a one section between the two lines. Another easy method to use a trim tool is select all the objects. Don't worry. Select all the objects and select the trim tool. Now you can easily trim any of the section. I want to trim this section, okay. I want to trim this section, okay. I want to trim this section, okay. This section, okay. Any of the sections can be deleted. And at the last press enter or skip in order to terminate the command. Another tool which is related to the trim is extend, which is also associated with the same button, extend. Now look at that. This line, I want to extend this line. I want to extend this line so that this line touches the upward line. I want to extend this line. Here line etri वधी वञे जो हिन line के touch करे. Manually छा कयूं scale रखी असां same size दे and then vertically we draw the line. But here we have a tools. What we do here, you can see that the extend. Select all the relevant area. Select all the relevant lines. जीअं असां trim में use था कयूं and use a trim. Extend. Extend करण खां पोइ जंहिं बि लाइन खे तव्हांखे एक्सटेंड करणो आहे न उनखे वञी क्लिक कयो. मारो अञा रखियो आहे भरिसां चए थो हीअं थी वेंदो एक्सटेंड थी वेंदो. मां चाहियां करे छॾीसि. हिन लाइन जे भरिसां रखे त चए थो हेॾां रखियमि त हिन पासे न एक्सटेंड थी थिए. अगरि चवांसि त न हेॾां करे त हेॾां अहिड़ो एक्सटेंड थिए. हिते लाइन में हिते रखांसि त चए थो न इहा लाइन हिन सां मिलंदी कान जेकी तव्हांजी बाउंड्री आहे. हा ॿिए पासे न थी सघे थी. अञा मां रखांसि त चए थो न तव्हांजे अॻियां सिलेक्शन कान्हे का. Otherwise, misal तौर ते, if I select these all and say that extend, I can extend this line to the one circle, another part of a circle also. इन खां वधंदी कोन. इन खां छोड़ंदी वधे अॻिते. अॻिते साइड बाउंड्री सिलेक्ट आहे त केसि ताईं. Now let me draw one circle. One large circle. Let me draw another small circle. If I want to copy the small circle, if I want to make a multiple copy for the small circle, I have an option that I will draw multiple objects. 1, 2, 3, 4. But another good thing is that I can select a small object, and here we have a tool as a copy. If I click on the copy tool, so he said they specify the base point, specify the any point. Let's say I want to select this circle. So now if I click on a circle, he said I have another copy, like a magician will do. From a one circle they are extracting 2, 3, 4 balls बनाना शुरू कर देते हैं. So a similar way I can copy over here. Even then, still I have another copy. I can make another copy. Third copy, fourth copy. And when I press escape, the command is terminated. So now I can use a trim tool in order to make a sprocket type of a shape. How I can use it? I can go. I will select these all circles, all the 5 circles. Go in a trim section and trim these all sections. So now I have a shape. This shape was difficult to make because it involves curves. But by the help of a trim tool, I have drawn several lines. So drawing a lines and handling them in a manual drawing was an issue. But here in AutoCAD there is no issue. You draw the several lines and several circles and remove the unnecessary parts. You have a final shape available. I can select a circle, this circle, move this circle, brought it at the center. Can we convert this object into the 3D? Yes, we can convert this object into the 3D. In order to convert into the 3D, right now we are in the top section. Here we have a rotating wheel. If I click on the SE corner, what will be the shape of this object? Now I'm doing the zoom in and zoom out. Now we are in a 3D section. And now in order to activate the 3D command toolbars, at the bottom here we have a gear. Do you see the gear written as a switching the workspace? We want to switch from 2D drafting to the 3D basics. Now we have a 3D tools available. Now among these tools we have this tool available, press pull. What is the name of this tool? Press pull. Select on the press pull and select this section, mid section, and move upward. The gear has been formed, but you see that this is the only outline. It is not visible as a solid. We can convert it to a solid. Actually, this is the 2D line frame. Here you can see that this line is a 2D frame. Here you have a visual style. Within the visual style, you see that we are working in the 2D frame, wireframe. If I click over here, we have several other options are there. One of the important option is shades of gray or shaded with edges. Now here the 3D object is available. Can you convert your drawn object into the 3D? Now another tool that we have is a mirror tool. What is the function of a mirror? You can do the combing or makeup on it because you can view your image. Another characteristic of a mirror is that mirror shows you the inverted image. If you raise your right hand, the mirror shows that you have raised your left hand. So for example, if I have some shape that I want to draw, let's draw one shape. I'm adding some arcs. So the shape looks different. So this is the shape, one of the shape. So I want to make a reverse inverted image also. So I can select this all and click on the mirror tool. Once I click on the mirror tool, what is being asked? Specify a point of a mirror line. What is the midpoint mirror line? I say, let's say this point I want to consider as a mirror line. So now here I have an option. A mirror object is rotated. If I move upward, exactly opposite portion is there. Now here again, if I click over here, the AutoCAD asks from that remove the original object or you want to retain a copy. What is being asked? Erase the source object. यानी असली जो object है उसको आप erase करना चाह रहे हैं. I say then no, I don't want to. I say N and enter. So now both the objects are there. In between them, if I delete these midpoint, now I have a section. So we can draw one object, one portion only, one side, and the second side is easy to be drawn. Whatever the complicated shape is there, we have to draw the half of that. Exactly half of it can be drawn with the ease. We just have to make a mirror command.